What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Ethereum today. It is the 9th day of December, and here we are sitting at about $3,400 with 5 hours and 50 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, you guys. Here we are, moving up. Moving up, absolutely, we're moving up. And it's really odd, and this is something that we've noticed since like the beginning of 2023, is how much respect this 0.5 level has been getting throughout the crypto markets. Now, that doesn't mean that every single time we're going to find support there or resistance there. Like, for example, here from a low to a high, we didn't find any significance at the 0.5 here. We found significance at the golden ratio. But there's been various moments. I mean, even here, I'm just kind of curious, from a high to a low. Look at that. Look at how perfect that is. Look at this. From a high to a low, we found direct resistance here at the 0.5 for so long. Right there, once and twice before. There's various areas that we found significance at the 0.5s and these relative to retracements as well. Here we're finding support at this 0.5 right now. I really do believe that this is the low. Now, we were confidently calling for the low here, saying that it was completely possible that we could go down to 2250. The golden ratio is possible, but we're still confident that the low is in. And we are going to be vindicated with this being the low. This is the low. There's no doubt about it if and when we close a week above the red line here. 2 days in a row or 1 week to close above there, I think would be sufficient. And that price is about $3,004. Let me just zoom in here so that we can get it accurately on there. How about that? $3,667. If we can close above $3,667, basically $3,700 on any given multi-day basis or a weekly basis, we validate this as a low. No ands, ifs, or buts. But before we get to that, before we start talking about the upside, I do want to say that there's a path that we are on right now that we have to keep being on if we want to move higher. We cannot reject the 236 and come back to the 382. Okay, if we do that, likely we will go lower. We can reject the 236, find support, find a higher low, and then move up, but I don't want to see us go back to the 382 or below it, because if we do, the statistical probability that we go to the golden ratio increases dramatically. So on this path higher, from here, by the way, it's okay to pull back to the 382. From here, it's okay. But after interacting with the 236, we need to either do one of two things. One, find a higher low before the 382 and move back up above the 236, or two, we just need to close above there, maybe consolidate, and then go back up. It's okay if we close above there and then we close back below. That's not going to invalidate. It's the closing above and pulling back to the 382 that would really concern me. So that's just something to think about in the time ahead, right? $3,000 holding a support would definitely be nice. That would definitely look good. We have 5 days, 6 hours left in this week. We're up a good bit this week to start. We've got 10 hours, or we're up 10.3% so far. It's important to be apprehensive and open-minded that we could see some volatility before the end of this week. Let's look at the short-term stuff and then see where we're going from here, okay? But I really do think that right now we're starting to see some strength come back, not just in Ethereum, but in Bitcoin and the rest of the markets as well. Looking at this on the 1 hour time frame, zooming in a lot here. A lot of volume here. Some of the most volume that we've seen consistently really throughout this range. It's been very Barty, very odd kind of price action, very mechanical, and we're getting that here. Something that I've noticed, and I just want to take a quick moment to mention this. We've talked about this. I've probably talked about this for over a year now. I shouldn't say I've talked about it for over a year. I've talked about it throughout this past year, and I've mentioned it at various times. Maybe it's been a month or two since we brought it up. But if you notice here, notice when this move happens, right here, right? Notice, okay, actually this is not the timing that I thought it would be. That move's a one-off. That move's a one-off. But this move here, the bulk of this move really started right here on the 14th hour of the day, right? Here, whenever we started this move, look at this. The bottom was at the 14th hour of the day. We started it on the 15th hour. Here today, whenever we started this move, this was on the 16th hour, or no, the 15th hour of the day. 15th hour there, 15th hour there, 14th hour there. Do you guys see this, right? 14th hour right here. Look at that. And then that's whenever we moved up over here. You guessed it, 14th, 15th, 16th hour right there, right? Moving down right here, 15th hour. Do you see that? Isn't that weird how that keeps happening? Isn't it weird? I think we are in a very manipulated environment right now. And the reason why, first off, the choppy price action says it all, the very Bart-like structure. But secondly, consistent buying and selling behavior around the exact same hour of every single, not every single day, but any of these big moves, they typically do come in line with that time frame, right? And here we are moving now. Now notice here, after you make this move, did you keep going for days and weeks ahead? No, you stopped. You consolidated. After you made this move here, did you keep going immediately? No, you consolidated for like the rest of the day, and then you moved up. You did move up a little bit here. Did you move up immediately after this? No, you consolidated. Are we going to keep moving up after this? We're at $3,400 now. Are we going to keep moving up? Probably not. Probably not. We probably consolidate, and then we'll move up again maybe tomorrow or the next day, right? So I do expect some consolidation, but just be aware. I'm assuming this isn't going to last forever, but we've noticed now, I mean, for quite a long time, that right around the open, what this hour is, by the way, it's the 16th hour every day. That is the opening hour. Or no. It's the, I think it's, well, let me see. What time is it? It's 11, 10, 9, 8. It's the, wait, 11, 10, 9, 8. Yes, it's the 15th hour. That is the opening of the stock market, or maybe it's the 16th, the 14th hour. That's the opening. I can't remember. It's one of those two. That's the open of the stock market. So the U.S. stock market happens to open at all these times. That's when the institutional trading money, trading desks open up. They're the ones pushing the price around, right? It just makes sense. 1 hour RSI. Right? I would love to hear any arguments to dispute that. Maybe there's other reasons that coincidentally just around the time of the U.S. stock market open that we're moving in all these directions. If this was small time stuff, like if it was independent individuals that were manipulating the price, they would be sued, they'd be locked up in jail, they would be prosecuted immediately, and they would be broke. But because this is happening from the financial elite in the crypto space and in the world, we don't hear anything about it. We don't hear. That's how you know it's some messed up stuff that's going on right now, you guys. Right? Whenever I talk about manipulation. It's not messed up. This is good manipulation. We'll take it all day. But what's happened since October 10th, since the middle of September for most altcoins, since October 10th for Bitcoin and the rest of crypto, it's been nothing but pure manipulation. Absolutely it is. But we don't hear anything about it, right? If it was a small group, a coordinated group doing pump and dumps, you'd hear about it instantly. The news would be all over it like flies to shit. But we don't hear about it at all. And why? Just imagine, I'm on a whole different topic here, but just imagine in regards to manipulation. If I was a elite member of society, I was a 100 billionaire, right, or a multi-billionaire, whatever, and I was directly plugged in, or you were directly plugged into the financial institution, and you were one of the cronies, one of the ominous they, right? Not the they them people. I mean like the they, the people who are running the world, they, whoever they are. If I did something wrong, I would be covered. I would be covered. The news. I own the news. I own the media. So I can do something wrong and you won't hear about it. You'll see it, but you won't hear about it because I own the news. I own the media, right? We're seeing it, but we're not hearing about it. That's how we know. That's all I'm saying. That's evidence in itself, right? In a world, in this fabricated world where I am a multi-hundred billionaire and I own the media, if I was pushing the markets around and having fun with it, you would never hear about it. You'd see it because you have eyeballs, but you'd never hear about it because I own the media. Isn't it kind of interesting how that's exactly what's happening now? Except I'm not the person that's behind this. Whoever is behind this, it's probably not a person, it's probably a group, but I'm on a whole different thought. Let's just move on. We're overbought, and we're probably going to come back down. You're overbought on the stochastics. RSI, stochastics, MACD, it all looks good, but you're overbought. Typically, we don't consistently move up in these moves, right? We just went over all these moves that happen at the 15th hour, the 14th hour, the 16th hour, whatever, every day. Typically, we get a little pop and then we consolidate. So we're probably going to consolidate. Here you are at the RSI, the same levels that you were at here when you consolidated. In the Twitter spaces, the X spaces, on X.com, people are highly emotional. The bears are the loudest at these higher lows. The bulls are the loudest at these higher highs, which technically are just lower highs overall, right? Everybody's super loud at these moments that really don't matter. We're not doing anything significant. Emotions are high, and that's what I'm trying to say. And with that, I bet we do come back. I wouldn't be surprised if Ethereum went back to 3,200 or even below 3,200. We're at 3,400 now. All I'm trying to say is if you're excited about this, that's fun, but we're also at a point of prior support and prior resistance here. We probably pull back, so don't get your feelings hurt. That's what we've been doing. When emotions are less high, that might be whenever we make a more consistent move. But because emotions are so high, people are looking for any move to validate that the bull market's in, that the bear market's in. We're just going to keep chopping. We're going to keep chopping and probably move to the upside because we are so very oversold. So the shift will probably happen to the upside, but it's going to be choppy all along the way up there, right? We look at the 4-hour time frame. We look at these indicators here. I mean, the MACD is great. This to me, this reaction off the zero does make me think that we continue moving higher. But again, maybe just not right now. We'll continue moving higher, but not immediately. Daily time frame, looking at this, and again, look at where we are. Resistance here, prior support, prior resistance back here, prior support right there, prior resistance back here, resistance right there. We've consolidated this area so many times. Look, from this exact area, we went down exactly to $3,000. We could do it again. Absolutely we can. From this exact area here, we saw a low of $3,000, right? We can do it again. And, you know, whenever we were finding resistance here, consolidating in this area, the bottom end of this range was $3,000, even just below $3,000. We can definitely go back there and find support, as we have historically in this exact area. Daily time frame, the RSI is breaking out of the lower high, lower low trend, absolutely. So this, again, giving causality, giving momentum and reason to believe that we do push higher. But we're about to get into that overbought zone. I wouldn't be surprised if we found some turbulence here, find another higher low, and then continue. But once we get into that overbought zone, that's when the real mystery happens. Because when we get overbought, I would assume that Ethereum is probably pushing for prices that are around $4,000, if not $3,800. We're probably up at this level here. What we do from here is what determines, do we come back? Are we in a bear market? And we can go lower. We can come lower and find a higher low still. Or are we breaking out and are we going to see a bull market, right? It just depends right here. This is where the real psychological warfare starts, right? The degens are getting hit right now, trying to leverage trade left and right and getting screwed. But the real psychological warfare starts once we're up at that 4K area. Stochastics are bullish. MACD is bullish. We're about to cross above the zero. We haven't done it yet. But something to keep in mind here, I mean, just looking at these drives, there's no rule against this, right? You could stay green forever. You could never, ever again see red histograms, ever. But typically, how long do these green moments last, right? Like, these are some of the longer green moments that we've seen. This right here, we're getting close to this 0 point, which is actually a point to reject. I would assume that as far as this move is concerned, this move here is concerned, we're probably about 2/3, if not 3/4 of the way through it. So this next, we'll consolidate. This next pump would likely be the last of this move here. We will probably break out of this upward sloping trend, find a higher low overall, and then continue to rally. So I'm assuming we'll continue to pump going into next week. Christmas week might provide a dump, or maybe the week after Christmas going into the end of the year. I wouldn't be surprised at all if by the end of 2025, by the end of December, even as much bullish momentum as we have right now, if we were very close to where we are now in price, maybe just above, probably not just below, but probably somewhere around here, if not to the upside a little bit. And then going into January, we should see some spectacular growth. Then we reset our indicators on the MACD. We really get the cross up, right? And that would be like January, that we really get the cross up. Stochastics reset, RSI resets, everything goes well, provided, right? If in that time we break structure and we suggest that we're going to go lower, then January might be a whole different month than anticipated. But I think it's January, if not February, that we take out these highs. We'll move up, probably going into the end of this week and next week, consolidate from there. Likely whatever higher low trend we have, we will break that. As soon as we break that, that will be our support zone, and then we move up higher. That's my thoughts. I mean, what if right here we're forming an inverse head and shoulders? What if that's what we're doing? You know? Anyways, I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves. It's fun to watch the pump, but again, I'm making this video more to tell you that the fun's over. We're at a stopping point. See you later. Bye-bye.